Uh, where we start out, the Motley is at the Windswept Acres. There's been some discussions and things like that. John, you are in the midst of getting ready to go to your initiation. Morosa, you're concerned with this egg that you found. Uh, Sid, you're worried about the whole push for Inez, and of course the situation with Lucas. And Inez, you've just gotten a great big duffel bag of clothing and other personal articles, so
Yeah,
you're finally able
which
to kind
I'm
of
very
set.
grateful for, Marissa. Thank you.
Oh, and she's like, waves it off, waves it off.
So let me do just a quick once around thing with each person. Basically a question, and I've got something to kind of follow up on. And I'm going to start with John here. Let me ask you, John, what preparations, if any, are you making for this initiation ritual that you're going to this evening?
So I'm assuming I'm in the midst of the fasting phase.
Yes. A little
My
lightheaded.
biggest
Probably.
preparation is probably not biting the heads off of everyone else in the motley.
Okay.
Even when we eat cinnamon toast in front of you?
We would never be that mean. Maybe.
Maybe not,
Potentially.
unless Morosa gets really hungry. That's a very pretty cat you have.
Oh, thank you. She's being distracting,
Oh.
but I don't mind.
I lost audio for a second there. I'm not sure what
that's
happened. Sorry about that.
There's speaking of cinnamon toast, that sort of thing,
Yes.
the usual. So any other preparations? Anything I should know about in terms of your thoughts?
Well, as we
He's lost audio again.
Okay. As I understood it, Ventura Gain had also been sort of kicked to the curb with all of these ID problems and was being targeted then by the same sort of set of curses or ID things. Wasn't he named as one of the people?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I will contact him and just tell him that if he wants to, he has a place to stay with us.
So you're going to reach out to Ventura Gain?
Mm-hmm. Anyone
Okay.
else that we know kind of got caught up in this?
All right. Why don't you make a what's your approach with this to kind of do the social track down of Ventura Gain?
Wow. You know, let's see here. Well, what are my options again? Tell me again. What am I
They
choosing
are.
from?
The rules.
Yeah, I just need some words.
Words are hard, lady.
They are.
They are
Words
hard.
in word places.
Yes.
Let's see. Where did I put? It's under game e-files. Fade.
Okay, I'm gonna find it before you do, because I'm awesome.
Andrew is playing with the plugs on his thing, trying to get
Okay,
his
so I
audio
can
back.
choose between clever, flashy, forceful, careful, quick, and sneaky. So
Okay, sorry about that, guys.
No problem. Well, I'll come back to you in just a sec. We'll finish out
Yep.
Sherry's scene first.
sure. So what I'm going to do is I will be relatively clever about it. I will get a hold of him through some people. I'll find out who he trusts and kind of go through, speaking to those people so that by the time I get to him, this isn't just a cold call. It's some, I would have spoken to someone else that he knew and cared about, or knows well enough and trusts some to say, hey, if Gain needs a spot, he's got a spot, so that they say that as well. So this isn't out of the blue or secretive or anything like that.
Sure. Why don't you make a roll for me?
Okay, I could do Dice Stream, but then I would have to find Dice Stream.
You have dice
Here we
right
go.
by you,
I
don't you?
know, that's why I'm pulling those out.
I could hand you some dice.
Oh, I'm going to just dump everything over on
Okay,
my
why
desk.
don't you dump everything over and make a lot of noise?
Okay, so I rolled a 2 naturally, and my careful, clever, what did I choose?
Clever.
Clever's 3.
So you will
That's a
get
5.
the basic thing you'll find is from talking to people, kind of networking out, making the calls, spreading the thing out. It is that people haven't heard from Ventura Gain in several days,
Oh my.
4 or 5 days. In fact,
Shit.
there's that sort of hodgepodge of, well, I thought that somebody talked to him a week ago, that kind of telephone game thing that makes you think that actually he's been gone missing for a while.
Okay.
To add to that, with your success with a 5, there are a couple of other interesting details that you pick out in talking to people is definitively that a number of the sort of the lines of communication that are used in the Motley, the sort of the non-phone or the drop boxes and things like that, those sort of lines of communication seem to have been splintered, fallen out in the course of this. And at least one of the other people on the list of sort of affected by this, Mr. Q, it has also not been heard from in several days.
Ooh.
Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire a warning shot at Simon Maggots, and I'm going to say a couple of these guys went missing, and essentially, and the curse that I found was super potent, and she won't say the word, but she'll say really, really deeply potent.
All right.
So that he's heard that.
All right. You will fire that off. John.
Yep.
I'm going to come back to you, and then I'm going to move on along the group here. Tired, ragged-edged.
Yep, I'm probably trying to do like the equivalent of you're good enough, smart enough, and doggone it, people like you, but it's more like, you're the wiliest bastard of them all, and none of them are going to get past you, and whatever they throw at you, you can handle, kind of a self-actualization mirror thing.
Okay. So that's you're clever, kind of doing the mental exercises. Is that what you're working at? Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make that roll for me.
All right. I will use Dice Stream.
Oh, I wanted to set that up so that I could do that.
I found another one that actually has an interesting rolling table on it called Anywhere Board Games.
So that is a 3.
3. So you will definitely bear through that. It's tough because you've been back. Now, keep in mind that you were in the hedge and you don't really remember all of the suffering and the durance there and what you went through. But since you've come back, you've been denied almost nothing. You haven't gone hungry. You haven't gone thirsty. You've had stuff at hand at every moment. And now to have it sort of out in front of you is a little more painful.
Right.
But you will get a call that will come through, and essentially, we'll assume one of the second tier changelings, maybe Hammering Beats, will come down and he'll say, John, there's a changeling I know who wants to talk to you. I think he's met you maybe once. Guy's name is Songbird Rex. You know him?
Songbird Rex.
And you'll remember him vaguely. He stopped through. He's the one who dropped off Ka to you. He was the changeling who brought him in. He's the very feathered dinosaur beast.
Yep, I remember him now.
Oh wait, was he at the dinner?
I think he might have stopped through there. I'll pull up the picture.
But he wasn't the bug guy.
Oh right, I was thinking of that guy.
Oh, okay, that's Zippet Rausch.
No, that wasn't Zip.
No, I'm sorry.
Haberdash Quinn.
Haberdash Quinn.
And that's my special superpower.
That is
remembering
Cherry's
NPC names.
frickin' superpower of fear. Let me pull up. Let me see where is.
Sorry, Shu. I just muted you to see if you were the source of the echo, and you were. So.
Okay, I'll
do
see
it.
if I can turn things down.
No, Shu, not Sherry.
Shu, yeah.
Oh.
Let me find Songbirds. Is he under here?
There, I turned it on.
Yay. Have you got like massive speakers behind you? No, that's like air conditioning, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a fan.
She's
I
gonna
thought
drop
she
the
had like
faceplate.
huge. Yeah, I thought she had like huge beatbox type
Oh my
speakers
god.
behind her. I was like, whoa.
Hilarious.
So that's
Could you
what
imagine if
Songbird
someone
Rex.
did get that, like massive subwoofers for their computer? That'd be funny.
That would be so cool. Oh, that's right.
That's what he looks like.
Yep.
His face
I
is a
remember.
strange thing.
The Songbird Rex.
Yep.
I will thank Hammering Beats and move up to the phone. I'll pick up the phone. I'll say, "What? I mean, John Smith speaking. How may I help you?"
John, I don't know if you remember me.
Yes. You dropped off our erstwhile friend Ka, I believe. Did you not?
Yeah, I understand he flew back into the cage.
Yeah. Yes.
Um,
What can I do for you?
I understand that you're going through the rites this evening.
Yes, sir.
You're going to be taking up a position,
Yes.
a mud sword or something of the sort.
Did you? I don't think I ever was told what my position was going to be.
Correct.
Okay. I'm not actually sure. I haven't been told.
I have a favor to ask. He says favor with the capital F.
Okay.
Huh.
You don't know me. You don't owe me anything. But it might be that you could make it so that I would owe you something.
Okay.
The thing is, I would like to ask if you would, when you finish the rites, if you would ask Lean and Hungry Mike for a boon, for a favor for me. A boon for me.
A specific boon or an unspecified boon?
No, I have a specific thing I need from them.
Okay, and what is that?
There were some misunderstandings a while back, and in the midst of the conflict in the summer court, they took my wings,
Okay.
Oh.
and I would like them back.
Oh, that's a pretty hefty favor. It sounds like.
Yeah, it's a pretty hefty favor, yes, but I can't even get in front of them to ask. It's the first chance I've had for somebody to go in and ask for them.
I may be able to do this for you in exchange for a future favor of similar import.
I understand the implications, but I think I would rather have that in your hands than theirs.
Sure. I'll see what I can do.
All right. All right.
Do you have any more information on what the misunderstanding was? Maybe I could, if I need to talk them down.
I was on the wrong side in the fight between them and Summerlin.
Ah, I see.
Oh shit.
All right.
But I stayed. I didn't go to the new court.
We might want to wait until I'm a little more accepted once I've gone through the rites. I did start off on the wrong foot with them, so asking them a favor like that immediately after being allowed in.
Doesn't John start off on the wrong foot with everybody?
I really
It's
started off on the wrong foot with the
there.
summer court.
To pause on the other end of the line, and he will say, I really want my wings back.
I will do it as quickly as possible, but if I do it too soon, I'm afraid they'll flat out say no.
I'm need to fly.
I understand, but if I broach the subject immediately, I'm afraid they'll say no.
I don't think he cares.
If you'd rather I risk it, I will risk it. I think that we have a better chance of them saying yes if I wait until I've garnered a bit of good graces first. If you'd rather I risk it, I will. It's up to you.
It is in your hands, Smith. I will owe you if you bring this to fruition.
Okay. I will do what I can. As soon as I can.
Favor for a favor. That's not a bad deal.
Nope.
Yeah, we'll see how this conversation turns out.
Yeah.
Sid, let's come to you.
I didn't
It's all
even know
about
what I was
Sid.
doing last time, guys, honestly.
Well, you were kind of trailing along in the wake of Morosa's investigations and so on.
Yeah, and now, because it's been so long, like, I don't even remember what the deal with the curse was. And I was just like, what?
Well, what it was in the refrigerator, in Inez's refrigerator, they found one of these curse
Oh, yeah,
eggs.
the egg.
Hmm.
And it was like it was a doozy, and it had already gone off.
Yes, and it had the little flag.
Losing all of her information is what the curse was meant to do.
It could be
Possibly.
that, or
It
that
could
could be a side effect.
That could be a side effect. Yeah.
Think about the people who got kicked to the curb. I mean,
They've been
so-
disappearing, which this almost seems like now like a preparatory thing to that.
Yeah, it was a very let's consider it a hate crime, so to speak. But unfortunately, a hate crime from someone who was at the very least, working with a keeper, right?
I think it's more than that. I almost think like, okay, things go really bad for changelings automatically when they don't have connections, when they don't have ties. The safety net of changeling has connections. So something that breaks all the connections, it basically primes them for getting taken again. So I almost think the curse was like prep, or like, you know.
Yeah, it's like grooming or something.
Yeah, it's like knocking cracks in the ice so that when someone walks out on it, they fall through.
Oh, absolutely. And that's
Yeah.
but I was just saying that the targets, though, were all, how should we say, fringe personalities. Remember, the little flag, like, that Inez wasn't American enough. That Ventura Gain was perhaps too alternate in his lifestyle. That hammering beats was, again, not American enough, or
Yeah, I mean, let's look at some connections. Are they all minorities in some way?
I
Yes.
completely forgotten about that.
So this keeper is racist and all about America.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think
Or
America
the
is
person
exactly.
who has to deliver a certain amount of people is, and those are the people that they're considering not important.
And that may be it. Again, a hate crime of the worst sort.
Yeah. And it's good that Sid's first thought is, oh god, I have to protect Morosa, and it's terrible that her second thought is, but at least I'm okay.
Yeah. There's always that first, second thing with Sid.
The first thought
Take your white privilege.
Angel, not so angel.
concentrate on the
I
first
just-
part. Concentrate on that part.
I just
God.
have this vision of Sid starting to write a letter and being like, "Dear Mr. Keeper, I am a white woman in America."
Actually, she'd probably write an angry letter that someone didn't want her enough.
That she wasn't of note.
Yes, exactly. Look, there are people hungry for changelings and not all coming after me? What?
And there is the real problem, the crux of the problem.
Me first.
Just acknowledge that Sid's attitude about this is somewhat problematic.
Well, and I mean, one of the things is that we as the Motley weren't really attacked that we know of.
No.
So, and we were kind of out there and open.
Which is funny because the only two people that have joined up into unpopular courts and the third person hasn't joined up at all. So, like, it's kind of weird that we haven't been targeted, is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, I mean, because we're new. We're not that connected anyway. All of our IDs are new.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, didn't you just lose a couple of members? Like,
That's
you
it.
have
We
already
can't-
been targeted.
Ooh, that's a horrible
That
thought.
happened a little before this, though. I don't
Yes.
think.
And your sense with them was that they were drawn back by the siren call of the hedge. That much like many changelings, and it was something that was said early on that quite a few of them come out and then just can't get.
It's like those people
just can't.
because they don't know how to live outside of prison anymore.
Mhm.
Like, that's kind of the idea that I got of that, what was happening with them.
Well, and they remember the glorious bits, right? So memory is very selective.
Well, Andy at least had, like, never known anything else. She went in when she was a kid, so...
But you would think the soda would have kept her here. It's so sugary.
Yeah, well, not even Sid was enough to keep her, so
Oh, yes.
I don't think anything would have.
Just to settle some other things too for you, Sid. One is that Lucas is going to go back. He will say, "I'm going to start driving again. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to be taking up some shifts again, just around town. So I know you were a little concerned about letting me out of your sight,
Wait, who is saying this?
Lucas."
Okay, I'm going to need you to say this again, because you're not coming to very well.
Oh, sorry. I just want to say, I want to tell you, I talked to one of my managers, and I'm taking up some shifts again for deliveries around town.
All right.
And just wanted to.
Oh, that was too easy. It's a trap.
Yeah. we all go,
I love how Inez is like, wait, Sid is not flipping out. It's a drop.
There's no drop, not even a single swoon. There.
Like, are you very sure it will be all right? You were targeted.
I know, but this is kind of the life that I know, and that it's kind of important to me to be out and doing things, and I don't want to just be kind of living in fear.
I can understand that being here constantly may not be ideal for you.
He's a long kind of. I mean, it's different.
I hope it's not entirely unpleasant.
Oh, it's not entirely unpleasant. No.
Good. And I hope the company isn't too tiresome.
It's just that. My life has been turned a little topsy-turvy, and I just need to get a little more of my regular schedule as well.
I know that routine's what you want, but I don't know that I agree that routine's the safest option right now. If you are going to go out and work, which I agree would be wonderful, why do you have to do it in the same places and in the same way that you used to, so that anyone who's looking can find you?
Well, you know what I can do is I can talk to somebody, and I can trade up trucks for a while, cover on that, take different routes, if that would put your mind at ease.
That would go very far to putting my mind at ease.
All right, then that is what I'll do.
Of course, that matters.
Oh.
Spanker.
It's a long. See the bead of sweat pour down his forehead. Of course it matters, right? That's the right.
Yeah.
You see him kind of that Wolfian kind of. He's trying to like he's in a corner kind of thing. See him
And she
get-
will intentionally say, "You'll do what you do, and you'll have to forgive me for worrying."
Okay. I'm just gonna go do that thing. And
I would never try to stop you.
oh, I
Just tell me that you'll be careful.
I'll be
In
careful.
fact, tell me that you'll be careful whether or not you're actually going to make me think that you're going to be careful.
I will be careful.
Thank you.
He ducks out,
Yeah.
worried and perhaps a little shaken there.
A little shaken. She's like, I'm trying so hard to just make sure he knows that he should be able to go and do what he wants to go do.
He's trying to get used to it. Inez,
Yeah.
let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
Now, Inez has been out for a while, and she's had this time to set herself up and had some time to reflect on her experience. She's been out longer than anybody else in this motley. And changelings pick up fragments and remember bits from their durance, and those things sort of come back. So let me ask you, decide how you want to answer this. What does Inez remember from her durance? Or if she doesn't, what does she put it away? What's her response to that?
I think the extent of her durance that she remembers is pretty much just being like quicksand in a desert. Like, she doesn't remember all of the scary shit where she had to basically hunt and suck down changelings who tried to escape the desert. So she doesn't actually remember a lot of the hunter heart aspects of her, which I guess is a good thing at the moment. But she still has that bit of a scary "I will find you" instinct every now and then. So she just remembers the whole "I'm an element" part of it.
Okay. Does she go out into the desert at all?
I think it probably brings back weird memories. Like, there's a weird love-hate with the actual desert. I think that's why she centralized herself in Vegas so much, because it was so industrial. Like, it wasn't out in the middle of nature, I guess.
Is that a dead body?
What?
No. Below her boombox speakers? No, that's not a dead body.
It's a live body. She likes to keep them around for a bit.
Oh, God. It's like Takahashi Miki's audition there. Okay.
Oh God, that movie's so twisted. Oh. But,
That's going to be in my head all night. Oh, shit.
I was wondering if there were any connections between the people who'd been screwed over, aside from, ethnicity or sexuality. Like, because it seems that Nez knows quite a few of them through the club, at least like Miss Bunny and Hammering Beats. So I'm wondering if there's any other kind of connections like that. So she can, because she's trying to kind of figure out who might be next, and if there's a link, then she might be able to like warn them or stop it or.
Sure. Why don't you make a quick roll? How would you describe your approach to sort of social networking and connections on that?
I'd say flashy. I think she's always used her charisma to kind of
Okay. Why don't you make a roll
cultivate
using
those connections.
using that?
Okay. My dice roller's gone funny. What's happening?
Did it not display? I've had that happen before.
Well, I rolled a 2, and I have +2 for flashy, so that's 4, right?
Yes. So you've got, I think, a total, including yourself, of I think about 8 names. Ventura Gain is sort of flamboyantly the sort of decorator stylist, in that way where he's really bought into a set of imagery about that, as opposed to another gay man, Mr. Q, is very conventional, and in fact, they've had some arguments, as you know, about that. The Miss Flopsy, you know that she is an escort, but she's not. I mean, she's fairly Caucasian. That's the one thing that might be sort of non-American. 20 Galled Poet is a little odd. She's very earthy, crunchy recycling. So you suspect that there may be a whole weird right-wingedness to it.
Oh my god, the fucking Tea Party's after us.
Fucking
It's the
conservative.
worst.
A changeling Tea Party though? That's like... And not in a
That's like so meta or something.
The other one that you don't have on the list there is Phantom Tom, who is a Darkling middle child. Yeah, and
Have we met
I don't
him?
think you've seen any kind of pictures of him. And he is definitely of mixed race when you've seen him, but he's a little hard to see. So there's definitely a set of connections on that score that you can put together, Inez, from your kind of going back over and looking at that.
My second thoughts is Hispanic, and she didn't have any trouble, did she, or was she able to protect herself? Because she's pretty good at that stuff.
You're not sure.
I know-
She's the one who set those things up, though.
Isn't Rido Threadbare, isn't she Hispanic as well?
Yes.
So she's fine, as far as we know.
So it doesn't seem like every single non-Caucasian, non-right-wing changeling. And there are some right-wing changelings.
But they're not all, considered a bit out of the norm, are they, really?
Right. For some, their politics is a reflection of the mask that they've created for themselves since they've gotten back.
What about courts? Are they all unaligned, or are any of them in courts?
I have to check my notes, but I believe that a couple of them are at least loosely affiliated. There's nobody that's a formal court official or has a ranked position.
That people were specifically chosen to not, so that the courts wouldn't get involved, or
Yeah.
wouldn't be obligated to get involved.
At most,
Their connection.
yeah, at most they have an allegiance and essentially patronage from one of the courts, but that seems to be the extent of it, and it does seem to be across the different courts.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, do we know of any other changelings in Vegas who are unaligned and currently not missing or without their assets?
Terrible Job is one.
Terrible Job is Wintercourt.
No, he's not.
No.
He's unaligned. No.
Never mind. I was mistaken because he was with us at the beginning.
Right. No, he was sort of the volunteer trainer for you.
Yeah, he was interested in kind of getting some contacts with the Autumn Court at first, and had previously had some relationship to the Summer Court that hadn't gone anywhere, is more the impression that we had.
Yeah. There are a few others, and there are a lot of changelings that I would say a good third of the freehold is made up of changelings who haven't are very sort of minor and at the fringes and haven't pledged to any court in particular. But from what you heard from Simon Maggots and stuff, it was just a small group, a relatively small 10 or less people who had been affected by this sort of recent destruction of their identities.
Yeah. So, would you say going down the unaligned route is probably a bit fruitless? If there is that many in the freehold, it's probably kind of silly to try to track them all down and be like, hey, if you got an egg in your fridge.
Well, you can certainly put that the buzz out that they should be cautious about that kind of thing. Is that what you want to do?
Oh, yes, I will absolutely do that.
How do you want to phrase that?
I don't want to get people too in a panic about it, but I do want people to be cautious. So I guess
Would you say you're going to be more careful with your wording?
yeah, definitely careful. I'm not going to say there's a keeper egg, fuck. You know.
Oh damn!
Why don't you go ahead and make a careful roll then for me?
Okay. Okay, I rolled a 2, but I got a minus, so that's 1, and I have 1 for my careful, so that's 2.
Okay. So you will start getting word out. Now you do still have essentially the fragments of your network, people who still are talking to you because they want to find out when the next party is going to be and things, and so you will spread that out amongst that network in a way that suggests to people that the recent troubles might be something a little bit more, and that those people who are unaligned ought to be watching things with some caution.
Indeed. And hey, I've got a nice big house, and the DJ already lives here. Maybe the next party should be here.
That's a great idea.
Start gathering more.
Yeah. Marosa likes people.
Marissa can cook. She likes that, right?
Yeah, all of it.
Well, let me swing back around since I think we started with Marosa. What is your plan?
Okay, so my plan is now that I know that Q and Ventura Gain have gone missing, I am going to see if I can track back to where they kinda actually. Yeah, I'm gonna start tracking back to where they disappeared to get a sense of how long gone, and if I can find out if anyone saw them going into the hedge or talking to someone and then going in, that kind of thing. Just the usual thing you're gonna do to follow up on a couple of now, mind you, a couple of people who've had it rough lately.
Right.
Because I lost a couple of motley mates back into the hedge, so that would be just the standard inquiries to find out if that's what they've done, or if they've just gone underground.
Okay. So let me ask you this: which of the two do you want to follow up on with that?
Oh, I probably know more about Ventura Gain than I did the others, and certainly speaking to him makes more sense because she does set design and he did interior design, so they probably would have had their circles cross on occasion.
Okay.
They at least would have had things to talk about when they did cross paths.
All right. What's going to be your approach with that?
I'll probably do clever again because that's what I started. I already started with his friends around, so I will work on that. One of the things that I will do is I will keep it away from the Winter Court in that sense that I'm not using that relationship as much as I am using the relationship of a person who needs to, who needs to speak to Ventura Gain.
Okay.
for professional reasons.
Why don't you go ahead and make that roll for me?
Okay.
So overcome.
Okay, so I rolled a 2 again. That's clearly all these can roll. So that's a 5 altogether.
I'm taking those dice away.
Okay.
So you will, during this day, go talk to some people and eventually do that we do that montage of you in different places at Grendel's talking to someone at the 25-hour store.
In the montage, she's stopping to eat.
Yes.
Or she's
Every
eating
time.
something the whole
Talking the log line,
Mhm.
talking to people at the Autumn Court because you knew they had a relationship, and certainly find out that Ventura Gain was supposed to get something done for them and didn't, and that Roush and some other people were quite upset about that. Though apparently they've continued on with what they were doing, but they were a little bugged by it. But eventually finding that Gain has a very nice place, essentially one of those high-rise apartment buildings, beautiful building, and you'll be able to get in there. We'll assume that you'll spend a fate point for your glamour to use your contracts of uniform.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So note that.
I will get let in as his cleaning person.
Okay. And you'll be able to get into his apartment there. Again, exquisitely done, carefully done. He is a flowering changeling, so there's a good deal of that you will pick up from searching around, checking out the apartment. You will note that the balcony is still open, that the place has that sort of lived-in look, but it clearly hasn't been. I mean, it's locked up, but it does look like maybe he vanished from his apartment.
Like he was in there and didn't leave?
Right.
Okay, so I will check for the eggs.
Okay. You will find one of these eggs in the fridge.
Yes.
Okay. And how did he disappear? Can I get a trace on that? What kind of
Why don't you make another roll for me?
take a walk thing? Okay, so I rolled 3 pluses and a minus, which comes to a 2.
Taking those dice away from you.
Okay.
Those dice are being melted down. They're getting shattered with a hammer.
All right. But you got them for me for my birthday.
Well, screw your birthday dice. So, there's that floral scent around and about of his sort of general Ventura Gain's general sort of flowering stuff, but it changes when you get out onto the balcony.
Okay.
And there's a scent hanging there of, what is that smell? You're trying to place it, and then you're like, oh, it smells like rotted peaches.
Oh. Oh, that's those silver peach guys.
Isn't there a peach themed gang?
Yeah, there's a peach gang, the peach something gang. Yes.
Peach picking.
Peach
Yes,
picking.
we are going to go find them. Okay. Do I see anything else around that gives me something to track them by or something to follow or divine by? A sort of divining rod thing to use.
What'd you roll? What was your total?
I had a 5 again.
Then I will say that there is a set of that sort of black, rotted, fibrous peach material there.
Okay.
Crawling with ants that have climbed up the side of the building, sort of horrible and blackened and soft when you pick it up.
And I know exactly how to handle it. I go and get some aluminum foil, and I roll it up into that.
Okay.
And I, essentially, I make my divining rod
Okay.
out of that material and tinfoil.
All right. royals perhaps a little under your fingers when you wrap it up, soft and giving, like a infected wound as you do that. But
What
you
are
will
you
have it.
divining?
Do you want to take that, Marosa?
I will take that because I'm going to have to see if I can track him down.
She has found evidence of who might have taken Ventura Gain.
Ooh.
So, John,
Yes.
you will be picked up. A car arrives for you, and you will see Easting Ian Rat, who you've talked to briefly before, will show up to pick you up. He is another beast from the summer court there.
Okay.
And he will say, "Are you ready then, sir?"
As ready as I'll ever be, my good man.
All right. Well, we're gonna head on out there, and let's go for a drive, John the Smith.
Oh, that's ominous.
Yeah, I know.
And you will see him proceed to drive out into towards the edges of Vegas, towards the Vegas desert, old mob territories and bright sands and burial grounds and all that kind of bullet in the back of the head territory. As they drive you along there.
It's okay. The summer court loves me now.
He says, "I'm sorry, what?"
Oh, I was just saying I'm very excited to become a member of the summer court.
Oh yeah, this is going to be great. A lot of fun.
Oh, that's not really true.
And he will drive you out a ways outside of town, just to the edges.
Where
What's
it's
still
nice
part
and
of
quiet.
Yeah.
Nobody can hear you scream.
and it's after dusk, the sun's going down when they ride up, and he will park off the road. Shrubbery, hedges in the way. He'll say, "Just gotta stay off the road so nobody can see us."
Of course, makes perfect sense.
And he will get out of this pickup truck, and he will gesture to you, and he'll go to the back, and you see him grab a duffel bag and a couple of shovels. He'll hand one to you, John.
Nice heft to it.
Good.
Digging for treasure, are we?
Nope. He smiles. He's got a full set of beast teeth there that shine in the little bit of moonlight that there is. And he'll start walking that crunching desert and shrub terrain out a little ways.
And you don't die.
You will walk maybe 100 yards out, kind of get over a little bit of rise, and you will see a glow, and there's a campfire. And you will see a bunch of changelings standing around the campfire quietly. You'll see them kind of turn and look up at you. What do you do, John? Do you walk down? Do you run away? Take off to the side?
I will stand firm and look back down at them as intently as they're looking back up at me. Show no fear.
Okay. And you'll see your good friend Rumpelstiltskin, and he will run up the slight rise, and you see him hold out this malt liquor bottle to you, and he gives it to you. Here.
Thank you, Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh yeah. Come on down.
Okay.
And you will see that all of them have various six-packs and beer bottles, none of them matching. It's like they've shoplifted whole cases that they've brought together from different places here. Does look like some of the things are microbrews and other stuff, and there's a big, you see that one of the changelings has a big, what looks like kind of a brass cauldron, and as people are emptying their beers, he's taking them and he's pouring the backwash and last little bits into the big brass cauldron.
Oh.
And
Whoa.
he seems to be doing some glamour magic with that.
All right.
And you will see all of the classics. You'll see Noisy, the ogre. She's there, still off to the side, hesitant as ever. Big iron-fisted mallet hands. And of course, Lean and Hungry Mike, who is that sort of see-through woman with the hooves and the chains on her. Chains that look quite well made to your eye, John. It's been a while since you've seen those chains, and you're like, huh.
Wait, those aren't like the same chains, are they?
They're not the same. They're early work.
Wait, my early work?
Of course.
Oh, holy crap sticks.
Whoa!
And you'll see some others, a couple of Rumpelstiltskin, and of course Father Cannon, who you remember there.
God, so it's Father Cannon and Lean and Hungry Mike. That's great.
And there are a few others here that you haven't seen. You'll see that woman.
Oh, she looks scary.
And this guy.
Oh.
And
Serpentor.
This beast, very short guy.
Oh. The cutest. I like the open collar.
Yeah. And this guy.
Oh, less cute.
Yes, he's sort of a horrible patched together doll work thing.
Oh god, just
It's
kill
the
it.
bony little arm legs
Yes.
that are horrific.
Kill it with fire.
And Lean and Hungry Mike will bring you down there, and he'll introduce various people. Introduces the little doll guy, Squintborn. Introduces Fogheart and Twiddle and Minder Dan and some other people there, and they all introduce themselves, and everybody shakes your hand very firmly. You'll notice that most of them are armed as well, John. Guns and knives and swords and baseball bats and sticks with nails through them. All of them have weapons on them.
Cool.
And they will Lean Hungry Mike will go, why don't you finish your beer there, and then we'll start, John.
Okay, I will slam the beer.
All right.
Like a manly summer courtesan.
Oh, this is going
All
to go
right.
awesome.
That's flashy. Go ahead and make your flashy roll, sir.
Okay, dice stream. Here we go. So that's flashy. I am going to spend a fate point.
Okay. For a
To-
+2.
Yeah, for the +2.
Okay.
So that'll give me a 3, and I'm doing it to invoke. I'm hoping if I slam the beer fast enough when we get this going, that I won't let out a squeal about my the fact that I may have forged the chains that are around Hungry Mike's neck.
All right.
And so I'm going to invoke my evil past must remain a secret.
Okay. You will shake that, get it down quickly, clearly glamorized malt liquor. You know, it's still malt liquor, so it's still terrible. But you will slam it down, and you haven't eaten anything or drunk anything in about 24 hours. So it does that sort of quick hit to your head where your eyeballs kind of pop forward and your hair kind of gets weird feeling, and you get lightheaded, and the next little bit immediately afterwards is kind of a blur. There's conversation, talking, things going on, people are laughing, and then you kind of realize that it's gotten quiet, and everyone's sort of sitting on rocks. You're sitting on a rock, and everyone is kind of listening, and you realize that Lean and Hungry Mike has been talking for a while, saying things, and like directing some of them to you. Has that very ritual feel, but you've lost maybe the first half of the conversation. And she will say, as she holds this goblet out, and you will see she'll hold it out, and Father Cannon will pour from this bottle, and you will see this blue liquid come out and pour in. And she will hand it off, and it starts getting passed around for everyone to drink from. And she will say, and that is the story of how we came to fight the Summerlands.
And you missed it.
Now, John Smith, tell me, have you conquered your fears?
I conquer fears as they come to me, but can one truly ever conquer all of their fears?
Not all, but have you conquered some?
Yes.
Have you fought your shadow?
I fight my shadow on a daily basis.
No, I mean the Maker's shadow. Have you found it and fought it yet?
I'm assuming I don't have any idea what she's talking about.
You don't.
I don't.
No? You've not fought your fetch? Oh, and there's lots of talk. Oh, excellent. Then that will be a crusade we will go on. We will find your fetch, and we will bring them to heel. It will be a great hunt that we will carry out.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Now, you should know this, that we are the warriors and the soldiers and defenders of this freehold. And though we have lost some face to those who play with words, to those who play with games, to those who hide and who play with magics, we are strong in talon and claw. We have friends among the wolves who flock to us. We are beasts and ogres and others, and we are strength. We are the defenders here. You will join us as a dust grunt. It is a low rank, but it is a starting place, and it is an honor to be brought in at such a rank to our court, to be brought in without going through the probationary period. What do you say to this, Smith?
I say that I am truly honored to be amongst you at all, and that I hope that my wits and my weapons may help you stand fast against all of your enemies.
Yes. And have you seen enemies here in this place, in this city? What enemies do you know of that you should tell us of, that you should sing to us, that we of the Summer Court might number and acknowledge them as foes to be fought?
Okay, out of character for a second.
Mm-hmm.
The keeper that is in the university.
Mm-hmm.
John knows about that guy, right?
Yeah.
That is the first thing that I will say.
And tell me exactly what you say.
That there is a well, I don't know. I got to be honest with these people. They're my court now. Don't laugh at me.
Absolutely.
Oh
That
dear.
there is a maker being held in the university by where we are at being tested by humans, I think.
Quiet.
Because John would do any less.
John, you were telling me that there is a keeper present. Does it hold sway over this place?
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Oh.
I'm sorry, I gotta go out of character again, because does this tie in at all with the session that I missed?
Nope.
Okay, I didn't know if the people that what you guys were talking about was stuff that John should know and if it's the same guy or not.
Nope.
So, okay. It looked like he doesn't hold sway, right? It looked like he was being experimented on. Isn't that what
That
came
was the
about? Okay.
impression you had.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, we don't. I don't believe he actually holds sway over the university. I believe that he is being experimented on by people at the university, by humans.
Hmm. And she will look at Noisy and at Rumpelstiltskin and Easting Eon Rat and Father Cannon. She will say, "Drink of the wine, Brother Smith. The council must discuss." And they will walk away to talk. And you will see everybody else kind of checking their guns and their knives.
Oh shit.
And the
Crap,
sapphire wine comes to you. And
does it look very ritually?
yes,
I will realize I have no idea what I'm doing, and I will just kind of go, Klaatu, Vrata, and then I'll drink the wine.
Oh my god.
and it is cooling and brilliant, and it is like drinking sapphires as you drink it, and it actually refreshes you, and you realize also makes you like ready to fight. You realize as you're drinking it, this drink that everyone has already drunk, that you just get that feeling of the summer court of ready to go to war no matter what the cost.
Oh dear.
So we'll come back to you, John.
Okay.
Sid. How are you doing?
Sid is trying to deal with the fact that she was trying to reassure someone and ended up making them more anxious, and is like, I tried to do a thing and the opposite thing happened, and that is not supposed to happen ever. Marissa, fix it! And so basically she's asking Marissa to give her dating advice, which is, wow,
I have to put it this way. Moroso doesn't get how anything could go wrong when Sid's doing that. Right? So she's like, well, that just sounds perfectly lovely what you said. I don't know. I mean, did you get intense or something?
Sid has no idea how to answer that question. But, like, she's rather stupidly focused on this, even though I would like her to be focused on other things, so I apologize for that.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea of having a social encounter go badly or go not how she wanted it to go is significantly unnerving to her. So she's just like, I wanted to make him feel better, and he felt worse, and it's the opposite of what I wanted, and that should not happen. Tell me how to fix it right now.
Oh, well, then I will get her some wine. Because
Okay.
it fixes everything to start.
Yeah,
And then I'll let her talk some more until I figure out what was actually going on.
had a conversation when she was a little more sober than usual, and
Yeah. She goes, well, maybe you were just very like it seemed that it was the most important thing right then in that moment. That might have, tensed him up or something.
Of course it was important. Whatever I'm doing, when I'm doing it, is the most important thing I'm doing, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it.
See, and he actually believes that. But it might be a little bit much for him. I mean, think about it. You had a lifetime of training in being Sid. He's only had like
someone is
a
put off
couple of
my attention.
And Rose says, "It's okay. Here." She pours you some more wine. She goes, it takes some practice, Sid. That's all.
I've had practice.
You have. He hasn't.
Oh. So the minute Marissa pretty much says, well, it's his fault, consider it
Then it's okay, right?
He hasn't. Had practice at what? It was some simple conversation. He said, I intend to do this. I said, please be careful. And he said, all right. I mean, there was all these other things going on. It's like one of those times that it was like one person heard cut and the other hadn't.
Oh. Wait, which one heard cut?
I don't know.
All right, I'm having trouble following this. But it's okay. And she pours some more wine.
Actually, I kind of need some guidance from Lowell because I, as a player, have no idea what went down. Like, I didn't get it myself because I'm too socially stupid. So can I, like, roll dice to get some insight, or can Marosa roll dice to get some insight? Or...
Oh, yeah. Let Marosa roll some dice.
No, I'm going to let Sid make the roll there.
Okay. Can Marosa help? She's pouring the wine, after all.
Yeah, she's pouring the wine.
So I don't think two people on a social analysis has ever helped in any situation like this, but
I would like to make an enabling roll.
Okay, yes. You'll make your codependency roll. All right. So why don't you make that roll, Sid? What do you think this is based on, Sid? What is Sid's approach to this?
Well, of course, her instinct is to be clever about it and just figure him out as if he's a puzzle. However, everything changed with Lucas when she decided to do what he needed instead of what was natural for her. So she is instead, like, she's already done the clever thing, like, oh, it's just him being stupid. The second go around, I think she's actually trying to piece it together in a more careful way.
Okay.
So, this is the second time this happened. I'm marking it. Probably more than that, but this is the second actual roll that I rolled this way instead of the way that she'd be awesome at. And I got +2, so I don't know actually what my score is. What's Admiral Smith? What is? Oh, that's distracting. Okay, so I think my score is like 0.
For that, I have to, let me see if I got my little card.
I think it's like either 1 or it's nothing. Because I think careful is like my worst thing.
So let me give you what you know.
Okay, what do I know?
1, no pun intended. He is literally a lone wolf. He is a man who has kept himself apart from close connections to people.
Oh, okay.
For longer than you have.
All right.
You're used to interacting with people.
Mm-hmm.
Sid is, and about getting commitments and promises and reciprocal reactions.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of her stock and trade.
But that's not what he is used to, or more rightly, of knowing when you should give those kinds of signs and symbols. He has no sense of that. Remember your odd reactions to him early on, where he wasn't giving you the feedback that you wanted. It's because, as much as anything, that's not his experience.
Ah, so it really is that simple. I was making it way more complicated than it was. It really is just like he has no idea how to do this.
he doesn't. He's also a man with a strong male ego about his own sense of control as well. Perhaps coming out of his maleness or out of his werewolfness, and there is at least a little bit.
Yeah, and he's a werewolf. They're all stubborn.
Yes, you may remember that werewolves
The
are
fact is,
by
someone
nature.
else fretting over him, he feels that he needs to kind of repudiate that by being like, "Woman, I will be fine. Stop fussing." That kind of thing.
And he does that, but he knows enough not to put it that way. He's trying to not
That's good because I
be
would have gone
like that.
badly.
Again, the problem is for him instincts and nature, even more than like you change are driven by your past and your experience in that. He is also a creature of certain patterns, of certain instincts.
That's true. That's true. So actually, the fact that he offered to change it all, to change anything at all, was actually a huge step.
Absolutely.
It was like,
When you convinced him, when you put on a convincing role and were able to show him
yeah.
that character or that real person.
We're gonna leave that unexamined for now.
I know.
I don't think Sid herself knows.
I know you've gone back and forth on that a couple of times.
I know. This is kind of a new thing, and the experience with Andy didn't exactly make this easier either. Because like, oh yeah, the last time this happened, they let me to go back to Arcadia. It's great. So,
You know what this calls for? More wine.
More
Roast
wine.
is there for you.
I
Yes.
think she's saying a lot of this. She's like, I think actually she's like carefully picking it apart and like speaking it to Marissa, and then afterwards just kind of like sitting there a little like stunned and just like it's almost like she got a peek back, like a peek at the script that she wasn't expecting to have, and it was just like, oh right, they just had all the motivations just written down on the page, and I didn't have to make it up for once. But kind of cool, but kind of unnerving, and just like, oh, insight, it's a thing that happens. So okay, now I'll help Marissa with her thing. Sorry, thank you for dealing with my thing.
That's fine.
I need to stop being so obsessed with Lucas. It's just not fair. Sorry.
So Inez, you've seen, I mean, kind of strikingly watched from a distance here now, Sid go through these convulsions and turmoils. What's your reaction to this?
Yeah, I think Inez will come and rudely interrupt that little that little chin wag.
Don't do it, please.
Again? Jeez, I ran a bar and I didn't even drink this much. Jesus.
Well, then come and have some wine with us.
Sid's just gonna like down the rest of her glass, just like.
That sounds like a great idea. And then she'll like pick up the divining rod thing if Marissa lets her. Just be like, what's this thing?
Oh, that was Ventura Gain went missing from his apartment. Kind of, someone snatched him right off of his high-rise apartment. And it was one of those peach pit hobgoblin things. At least that's the stuff that I'm picking up around there. So I made a divining rod so we can track him down.
Now that they took him, or were they just there around the same time?
Well, he's at least our best clue. He was associated with his vanishing. Okay? And I think the last time we saw them, it was at the Railroad Museum.
So we thinking what? This guy.
We'll probably go over to the hedge over there, pop in, see if we can find him.
So you actually found out where this hop guy is?
Well, Ventura Gain isn't a Hob guy, but I know where the Hob gang were at one time. I don't know where they are now because the Peach Pit kind of floated in the sky. But it's essentially this big giant rotting peach wrapped in tinfoil that sort of floats around up in the hedge.
Huh. Well, weirdly, fighting people is something I'm pretty good at.
Really? Do you want to hold the divining rod? It's kind of disgusting.
um, sure.
Oh, awesome.
And I'd like to use one of my aspects.
All right.
I spent a fate point to do that, didn't
Absolutely.
I? Okay, I will spend a fate point, and I'm going to use my aspect, which is I will look for you, I will find you, and I will kill you.
Oh my! Wait, I don't think we're gonna kill. Oh, well, if you find them.
And you will definitely get that sort of weird divining rod feeling to things there.
This is probably a very unorthodox way for Inez to find people, but hey, she'll take what she can get.
Well, shall we go find Ventura while John's out this evening then? Sid, are you all set?
You're using your vendetta aspect to contact some people?
Sure.
What? Oh, yeah, no, I think this is actually a really cool idea. And will definitely not backfire.
Do you want to gather yourselves together and head out to pursue this lead
Yes.
then?
Yes.
Okay.
I suggest that we dress in sensible clothing for that.
I suggest we bring bourbon.
That's probably a good idea.
Yes.
Really? Hasn't that, just replaced your bloodstream by now?
It kind of keeps her going, so it's okay.
And Theodora will kind of look and see you guys gearing up in a little less fashionable, a little more practical outfits, and that
Sensible
perhaps
shoes.
more than anything makes him a little nervous.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll say, "What's something going on, man?"
Yeah. We're investigating a crime.
Oh.
I'm wearing entirely impractical clothing, but I do take the gun.
All right. Oh. Fair enough. I'll step away there. Okay. They'll go, okay, well, you should be careful out there. There's some weird stuff.
You want to come with, Mr. Magic Guy?
I'd better not. There's enough weirdness out there. I don't want to be... I get the feeling there are things stalking around, and I don't know if... I don't know what's going on out there.
I'll tell you.
I don't want to draw attention to you guys.
Okay, but if someone comes and they need refuge, let them in, okay?
Okay. I will...
Well, unless they're a bad guy.
That's a given, I think.
Theodora's got a pretty good sense of those things. I trust you, Theodora.
Okay, that's fair enough. That'll be good. I will. We'll keep my eyes open. I just be careful.
Of course.
And he will kind of wait until he can kind of get Morosa slightly away from Inez and Sid.
Mm-hmm.
And he will say, Morosa,
Yeah?
some of the milk is gone.
What?
Some of the milk is gone.
Did John take it?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
But I just wanted to tell you.
Wow. That stuff is dangerous.
That was my thought.
I'm getting the sense that this isn't normal milk. Like, out of character, I don't know what this is referencing.
Not there.
Just on the QT.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I'll keep it in my head.
Okay. And you guys will gather yourselves together. So I know that Inez is armed. How does Sid dress and arm herself for this expedition?
In a coat dress. No, just kidding. I don't know.
She just wears a fabulous trench coat.
No. Capri trousers and layers, like, shell and a nice cardigan, but not too nice. And then a corduroy jacket and flats.
Okay. That is
And
crazy
a hat.
for you.
You have to have a hat, just in case there's sun or rain or falling insects. Things.
Or a big rotted peach pit you have to climb in.
Yeah, hat. Gotta protect the equipment.
Yeah, Marosa, on the other hand, is dressed in sort of very sensible, how do you say, coveralls, like mechanics coveralls, but heavier.
See, that's actually
And
something.
she's got like steel-toed boots, and she's got, like a hat, and she's
Were you
got
in my
gloves
wardrobe
that are the thing. No, she's in uniform. So when she dresses for stuff like this, she's actually wearing like what almost looks like a SWAT team's out uniform thing, but without any of the insignia. So she would dress like as close to a uniform as she could, because that's where one of her powers lies in. So she's got an almost, she's got like a fashionable looking SWAT team thing. She just doesn't have the Kevlar vest. And no SWAT across the
Do I even own a weapon? I have no idea if my character owns weapons. Like, I think
You
I had
own a silver katana.
If only there was a garage full of them somewhere.
I'm not. My silver katana
The pie gun.
for a very special thing, and it's not coming out until it's time to party.
Okay.
Okay, but yeah, I think I will bring a weapon of some sort.
We
like
have some
Okay.
guns that we got from the Great Three Iron Sour.
That's right. We do.
Sporting goods destruction derby.
Okay.
So
Take one of those.
plenty of guns if you want them.
Okay,
I
cool.
use a canoe though. That's what I would prefer.
Okay.
All right. So you guys will bundle in, get in the murder van, loaded up, and drive out. And you will note one of the things is that as changelings, you do see your changeling minions, and you do see odd things sometimes. You will note off in the distance, off towards the north, off towards Summerlin, there's definitely something in the air. Like a little bit of, almost like an aurora borealis kind of thing, kind of shimmering up off in that direction, way off that part of town. That strikes you as a little odd. And you guys will turn out, though the divining rod doesn't point that way. It points more towards the strip.
Okay. All right then. We will keep with the rod, but that's kind of worrisome. So keep an eye on it, okay, guys?
Okay.
Why is that worrisome?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
And
Summerlin is like a second summer court. They stole a bunch of power from this summer court and set up their own all-year court out in Summerlin, in that sort of, gated community out there.
Oh, right,
Broke all the
yeah.
rules.
I heard about that place. Never been out there.
And you guys will drive. There are some more people on the street out here. Maybe people coming to see the remnants of the great honey accident that occurred.
Oh, God.
That still a portion of the street out here is sort of blocked off. But there's a lot more people on the street out here than you usually see.
Really? What kind of people?
Why don't you make what's your scan of the crowd?
My scan of the crowd will have a +1 notice because of my motley.
Oh, that's right. You bastards.
So just starting there.
I want you to roll and crap out. That would make me happy.
Okay, well, we'll see what I do. This is not the time I crap out. So,
I
I got a 1 though, only
Okay.
a 1.
Only
so that's
a
a
1.
+1, so that gives it a total of 2. Unless I can add one
What's
of my
your approach?
approaches. My approach would be, well, I'm going carefully
Okay.
here, right?
Okay.
So that would add a 1 to it, I think.
So you guys will move along, and as you do, you will see on the street there are a couple of more sort of street people that you've seen around, kids and things, the black-eyed children
Ooh.
that you've heard of
Oh my
that
god, you
you've
know,
never
you need
seen
to
any of them,
the whole
but you've heard of them, the drummers.
There are black-eyed children. Like, that sounds scary.
Yes.
They are.
dude,
Drummers-
they're in Malice too, Theo. They're
Yeah.
in Malice, so you should be used to this. They're terrifying.
But the other
I
thing
don't
is,
remember any black-eyed children.
Every single child I've introduced to the game is one.
Oh shit. Well, you know, the last kid I saw was getting his face smashed in against a wall, so.
Except for that one. That guy, that was just a human. That, yeah.
good.
Oh, lovely. Just a human.
Yeah.
But you will also see a figure that, to your eyes, looks familiar, Morose, and it looks like one of those maker men.
Oh. And they're hanging around our place?
On the streets, there are a couple of the drummers, and then a ways off you'll see one of those maker men.
Oh.
You weren't here for that.
Oh, that's.
They were sort of half fetches made by this supernatural creature.
All right, do they react to us as we drive by at all?
The maker man probably kind of doesn't,
Right?
but you will see one of the drummers drop a skateboard
Uh-huh.
and kind of skate on and skates up when you guys stop at a light, kind of skates up to the passenger side window. Who is in there, Sid or Nez?
Inez? If that's okay with Sid?
Sure.
Sure.
Knocks on the passenger side window. Maybe a girl, maybe 13, dirty ponytail, eyes kind of black, filled.
I roll it down just enough so I can hear them. What?
Hey, why don't you roll the window down a little bit more?
How about no? We don't have any weed. Fuck off.
I've got a message
From whom?
from him.
Gotta be
Said-
more specific than that, kid.
She kind of leans forward. He gave it to Vera. Vera gave it to me. A message from him.
I arch my
said-
brow and look at Marissa like, what?
Sid is like leaning forward, whispering into Rose, saying, "Go, go, just put your foot on the gas, just go."
And she goes, he said if you said Sid, send Sid back, everything will be fine.
And then Morosa pulls out.
Just send Sid back.
Okay. Anybody want to fill me in there? Like,
No.
You will probably see Sid kind of go up full, tight, clenched up.
It's more kind of complete blankness for a second. Just kind of nothing for a second.
And Marissa goes, okay, this is it. We were going to go after Ventura. Do you want to go back? Do you want to go back home?
How can we?
Well, we easily can. We can drive past them into the gates. It's protected. But it just means that we're...
Is it protected well enough?
And she goes, if any place in Las Vegas is, it is.
Is any place in Las Vegas protected well enough?
It's a town with 21 keepers, hun.
Yes, well, I'm not worried about 20 of them. I'm not worried about any of them, obviously.
And Inez, does it click for Inez at that moment?
Yeah. Sending kids to do dirty work. That's just tacky.
What do you guys do? Drive on?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go help someone out.
Yes, suburban, obviously.
I put a hand back to like the back seat and kind of like pat Sid on the leg comfortingly.
Okay. I don't think she responds.
All right. And John, the group will return back.
Battle!
He's like the little pygmy dude among them all, except for that little,
Little
Creepy
squint
doll
born.
creature.
well, yeah, Squintborn and the little, what was the little
bush
animal
baby.
dude?
Oh yeah, the little guy, a twiddle.
Twiddle. Oh, his name is Twiddle?
Yes.
What an awesome name.
Twiddle has a like little ball peen hammer that has his weapon tucked
Oh.
into his belt. And it will come back and John, will you join us now? Will you take your oath to serve with the summer court and fight by our side? It shall be another amongst your groups. You serve with a motley, and we understand that obligation, but now will you join with us, become a member of the summer court as we go off, and we will deal a blow. We will show what this court can do. And all of them, Beck and Call, Sharkfinger Princess, even Maggots, they will look down and they will realize the mistakes that they have made, and we shall rise triumphant thanks to you.
I'm assuming that at this point the wine is still coursing through my veins.
Oh,
Yes,
shit.
but she will
Yes.
hold out. She will hold out her hand to you. Will you take your oath and become a warrior in the service of the summer court?
John will like get all patriotic and put his hand in hers and stand up and say, "Yes, I vow that second and next to only my motley I shall be truest to the summer court and all of its ideals, and we will show those who dare to stand against us the true might and power of the season of summer."
Yes. Yeah. Yes. 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 And she will go, yes.
It sounds way more ominous with the echo.
All right. She says, now who's okay to drive? And that's what we'll take up next time.
Oh, I love this game. Okay.
So that we'll take up next time, if that's okay with you guys.
Yes, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Wow.
we're both going off to 2 different kinds of doom. That's awesome.
Let me check. Is the next Monday is Memorial Day? Is that going to be a problem for?
No, it's not a problem for me.
I don't
John?
think it should be.
Okay.
No.
Well, just give us a heads up if
Yep.
it is.
Yeah, if something comes up, I'll let you know, but I think we should be fine.
Okay. All right.
All right.
So that's
Oh.
it. And, yes.
I'm working next Monday. That's really annoying.
Oh. Do you want us to bump a week?
No, because
We
I'm
can
working the
easily-
Monday after as well.
Oh.
You can just play without me. That's okay. I'm annoyed to miss it. But...
Okay. Well, we'll push through, and I'll blow up the world, and we'll press on.
Yeah.
But yes, Inez does have helpful things to finding people, and so feel free to utilize that even without me.
We will
I-
tag
We will.
onto the aspect of that.
I am really excited for John to make the phone call to Marosa to say, "Hey, we're on the way to storm the university. Let you should know."
Oh, great. We're going into the hedge.
Sherry, I have to just tell you
Coming
something
into a group
horrible.
against a bunch of hobs.
Mm-hmm.
Sherry, I have to tell you something horrible.
What?
His first thought, hearing just send Sid back and it'll be okay, was, oh, he misses me.
Oh.
Oh.
You guys are all
Oh,
fucked.
Sid,
Yes.
Sid.
I'm just glad I didn't open the window all the way.
Oh, I know.
Awesome sauce.
Awful.
Yeah.
All right, someone
Look
close
at what
this
you have
out?
brought, Lowell. Look at what. This is all your
Oh,
fault.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Sid
Alright, so I'm gonna
was
stop
damaged
the-
enough.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Stop